And we are live. How is everybody? Hope everybody's having a good night. It's Thursday night, not Friday. We usually do this on a Friday. It's Thursday night here, April 16th, and it's 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'm glad you guys can join me. There's a lot of things I want to talk about tonight. I will be starting the Amazon live stream right now, and we will be going live in 3, 2, 1. And welcome everybody on Amazon. We are live there as well. And again, everything we're talking about will not be released yet. They will be going. We'll talk about the new Envy laptops that were announced, and we'll see exactly what they have to offer. Now, I did attend the press conference. We'll talk about that in a moment. It was a virtual press conference, of course, and it was very interesting. A lot of good devices. It's a little different setup tonight. As you can see, I'm using a green screen this time. Want to try a few different things. Let me bump up to a normal size here, and then I can get rid of me over here for now. And we're going to talk about all the things that were announced, but there are some great deals over on Amazon for the Envy line for a lot of the laptops you'll see in the carousel if you're watching me right now on Amazon. And we're going to talk about all the things that got announced today, and the embargo was lifted. But we're going to say hi to a few people. We got 27 you in the live stream. Can you hear me and see me okay? Because I want to make sure everything is working great. Let's start off. Ivank, how are you from New York City? Can you hear me and see me okay? Of course, good old fan Lee is in the house. How are you? Tech Realm, of course. Good to see you. Good evening to you. We got Vincent here as well. Good to see you. Nick M is here. Dan Car 02, good evening. HOF 79905, how are you? Once again, good to see you. Jeremiah Fast A Cool Tech, good to see you again. And I guess we have a lot of the regulars in the house, so I'm glad to see you. Watching from Australia, thank you, Samuel John Press. How is things down under? Smart Cookie, how are you? Great. So everybody can hear me, hopefully see me okay. I will be upgrading the camera at some point. There are a couple of technical difficulties in doing that, but we'll get into that another time. Of course, I got my overhead cam. You won't see it right now, but I am using a green screen, trying a different look. Right now, it's Central Time, 9 p.m. where you are, Aldo. What's up, Umar? Tomas? We're there, Fan Lee. We'll talk to you in a minute. Tomas, how are you? Yeah, the Envies are looking good. Now, let's get into it. We got 44 of you in the live stream right now. Let's say hello to a few more people before we get started. Lorenzo, how are you from Ecuador? I'm glad you're doing the show. I'm glad you're watching from Michigan, and that's DJ Fields 1. How are you? Are these AMD ones? Yes, we are going to talk about that. You've been asking for AMD. We're going to be talking about that. So yesterday, and I was under embargo, so I couldn't talk about it, but yesterday, HP held a press conference, and they announced a bunch of new Envy laptops in addition to the Z line. We'll talk about that. Maybe not tonight, but I may do a separate live stream on that because that's some really good stuff. Good MacBook Pro competitors announced. We'll talk about that. But I want to focus on the Envy line tonight. And the reason I want to focus on the Envy line is because it's how we love the Spectre line, but it's a little expensive for some people. And the Envy line's a little bit less expensive, but you're not really skimping on the premium feel of it, the premium performance of it. So I'm glad about that. Now, having AMD Ryzen processors in a thin and light device is going to be very interesting, and I will be getting review units, of course, from HP, so stay tuned. I don't have exact dates yet, but they're coming, and I plan to review, hopefully, the whole line. Now, just for those that, I'm sorry, I just had to fix something. For those that are wondering, I do have, by the way, coming on Monday, the HP Envy Wood Edition. Remember that wood laptop? Remember the leather laptop I reviewed in the Spectre line? Well, the Wood Edition's coming on Monday. Now, it's not going to be this. I don't think it's the new one, but at least has something very interesting with the wood on it. So I'm looking forward to that. But getting back to what was announced by HP, they will come with Intel processors, but there's also the option to get it with AMD Ryzen processors, and that's what's pretty interesting. Now, we've got a traditional clamshell, the HP NV13. Then there's going to be the NV X360, which is going to be the convertible, and it's going to come in a 13, 15, and 17-inch variants. So I don't think there's an X360 17, of course, but they do have a 15-inch convertible. So very interesting stuff, and I can't wait to get them into the studio. Now, I have some of the specs from the spec sheets they gave me, but I'm going to take some of your questions, of course, so don't worry. I need to leave for work, but we'll catch this later this evening. Yes, Viva Flava. Yeah, I will catch you later. You can catch it on the replay. It's really good stuff with these NV laptops. It will have the U series processor as well as AMD Ryzen processors, which is a big, big news. Hello from Mexico City. Thanks for you liking the review of the Tab S5e. By the way, I think Samsung also announced the new Tab SE, I believe it is, SE Lite, or something to that effect. I'm trying to get a hold of Samsung to get a review unit, so stay tuned. Will there be an X360 17? I don't think it'll be in a convertible, but we'll find out. If I may, quick question about the new XPS 13. Do you notice a slow response time and ghosting of the panel much? Apparently, it has some ghosting. I haven't noticed it, but tonight we're going to concentrate on HP because this is pretty exciting news. All right, let me bring up the, where is it? Let's start with this one. Okay, so, and I'm going to go full screen on that. And let me take off. Okay, if everybody can see okay. And what we're looking at here, and I'll bump it up. So this is the NV, this is the clamshell, and this is the 13, the NV13. And what we're looking at here is a very interesting specs. Now, this one has the 10th generation Core i7 1065 G7, and that, of course, is the Ice Lake processor. And I'll come into the picture here. And watch this fancy graphic I'm about to show you. Okay, well, let's see. It'll look better if I do it like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. But actually, yeah, you probably could. Oh, you probably can't because I have this on. Never mind. Anyway, let's talk about the specs. So you got the NV13, and what we're looking at here, again, 10th generation Core i7, 13.3-inch, Full HD, IPS, Bright View, WLED backlit display, multi-touch enabled, so it's a touch display, which is good, and with the edge-to-edge display. And I'll give you some pictures here. As you can see, the bezels are pretty small, and that's pretty good. We like to see that. As far as the graphics, Intel Iris Plus graphics, which are good. And then we have 256 NVMe SSD. And this, by the way, would be the, I think this is the one that's going to be available on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. But I think there will be one that's also available with the Ryzen. We'll talk about that in a moment. B&O speakers, of course, really good specs. Now, battery life, they're claiming 15 hours of mixed use, 15 hours, 15 minutes. You're looking at 13 hours, 30 minutes of video playback, and up to 9 hours of streaming. So not bad. We're expecting decent battery life with that, of course. And it's going to have Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5. Well, that's good to see Wi-Fi 6 on that, of course. And it's going to have the HP Wide Vision HD camera with the camera shutter and integrated dual array digital microphones. It's going to come in under 3 pounds. It's 2.88 pounds. And this one is in silver. But if you noticed, let's go into something else. Let's talk about this one. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Now let's talk about this one. And this is the 15-inch. And let me put it on the screen here. And this one, as you can see, also 10th generation. Now we'll get into the Ryzen in a moment. But as you can see, this one has a 15-inch display. Now this is a 15.6-inch display. Let me, oops, sorry. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. All right, I'm still trying to new stuff here, people, so bear with me. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a 15.6-inch 4K UHD display, Bright View, AMOLED display. This should be interesting because this one's going to have an AMOLED display, and we know I love AMOLED displays, 4K. So I don't know how good it's going to be on battery life, but they're claiming that this is going to get up to, they're not even saying, because notice how they X that out. They don't want to say the battery life, because I can't imagine it being really good. But this does come in under 5 pounds. This is 4.74 pounds. You're looking at the RTX 2060 with Max-Q design, 6 gigabytes of dedicated GDDR6 RAM. So that's good as far as a graphics card. And so we should be able to do video editing on that. And it should be pretty good. And this is going to have a 4K display. All right, we got 46 of you in the live stream. So this looks pretty interesting. But I want to bring up, let me go into my press kit here, what they sent me. Oops. And I want to bring up the one with the convertible, because that I think comes in. Okay, here we go. So Envy, and let's go to the X360 13. Let me go to the images. Yeah, this is the one I want to show you. So this is the Nightfall Black, and I'm going to put it on the screen in a moment. Let me just download it. So this is the Nightfall Black. And you should be able to see it now. So this is the Nightfall Black. Now, this wasn't available. This is very beautiful as far as, this is a 13-inch convertible, by the way. This is the X360 Envy, and this is the Nightfall Black. And I can tell you that this thing is absolutely gorgeous. And when you look at it, first of all, it's not going to stay this way. It's going to be a major fingerprint magnet. Now, they didn't tell me anything about the stylus. So I know a lot of you are probably wondering, is what stylus are they going to use? It's a new, I'm not really sure, because they didn't really get it too much into the pen, but I'm hopefully it'll be Wacom. I agree, I'm a big fan of the Wacom AES, more so than I think the N-Trig, which is what the Surface Pen is. I kind of like the Wacom AES. So we'll see. But I don't have that specific information. Of course, when I get a review unit in, we'll definitely find out. And as far as specs are concerned, let me find the specs on that so you guys can see it. I've got so many things going on here, so just bear with me as I look at the different images here. I want to get to the spec sheet. Okay, and then we go here, go to Envy. All right, so here we go, data sheet. And this will give us a little bit of more information. Let me save the image, and then I will pop it up on your display, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. Getting a little bit better at this. Oops. And there you go. So right now we're looking at, and I got to make it bigger, and I'll read it to you for those that can't get a good clear picture. Okay, so this is the AMD Ryzen 7 4700U. And this is one I'm really looking forward to. What we're looking at here is a 13.3-inch diagonal FHD, a full HD display. You're looking at the bright view again, micro edge bezels. You're looking at multi-touch enabled, of course, since this is a convertible. And it's got pen support, as we mentioned. And we're looking at AMD Radeon graphics. Now, I'm not sure which graphics that is, so I'm curious, as anybody is, because it doesn't really give you any numbers or anything. It just says AMD Radeon graphics, which should be pretty interesting. I'll take you guys. I'll get to the questions in a moment, but let's just get through the specs. It's also under 2 pounds. This one's 2.92 pounds. It's a little bit heavier, but I think that might have to do with the graphics card in this, as well as the touch layers, of course. So the clamshell, of course. But again, we don't know, again, with pen support on the clamshell, but I do know that this one has pen support, of course. Storage, you're looking at 512 gigabytes of PCIe NVMe SSD storage, which is good. And then you're also looking at 8 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. Again, the processor is what got me intrigued on this one. Really interesting stuff. And as you can see, it's a convertible. Yeah, I think these are going to be 16:9. I believe they are 16:9, which was, I'm pretty sure of that, but I'll double check. Let me check the resolution, of course, but I'm pretty sure it is. Let's see. Hold on. Let me zoom out of that. So it is, well, it's a full HD. It doesn't really tell you. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 16:9. I kind of wish it was 16:10, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's 16:9. All right. Fans saying, wow, like that the Envy will now have RTX GPU. Yeah, that's on the 15-inch. We'll have that. And by the way, there's also a 17-inch coming. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, it does look nice. These really do. I got to say, they really do look nice, and I'm looking forward to it. Fan is saying, I like the Wacom because you don't need to find quadruple A batteries. Yeah, if the AES usually rechargeable. So, yes, definitely. Where will you store the pen? David is asking. Good question. Now, I know HP might supply a case. They did so with the Spectre line, but I'm not sure if they're going to supply one on the Envy line. Again, I don't know until I get review units. And again, those might not even be retail packaging, so I don't know. So in Tech Realm, again, hopefully Wacom, in my opinion. I kind of like Wacom, but we'll see. Bob, how are you, by the way? You're asking, have you had any quality controls issues with HP? I've heard many instances of people having to return their laptops from HP many times due to quality control. I have not had any issues personally, again, with the review units they gave me, but I guess people have had some issues, but no more so than Dell or Lenovo or any of the other brands that I work with, or Apple for that matter. I don't particularly find it. I think HP's really stepped up their game the last couple of years, and so I don't really think that's going to be too much of a concern. They've really improved their quality, in my opinion, of course. But again, people said maybe they had issues. Of course, I don't doubt it. Matthew Moni says that the XPS 13 2020 is 15 hours of battery life. Yeah, I saw that then. I didn't get 15 hours, and I don't know what test he's using, but I'm using a very mixed use test that does a lot of web surfing, that simulates everyday use, and it's a specific program that's very accurate. So I got on that one, I got 10 hours, I think, in 15 minutes or so, or 10 hours and 12 minutes. But again, I don't know what he's using to test. So it might be possible he got 15 hours. Again, it depends on what test he's using, what are the parameters he set for it, and then, go from there. But battery life is very good on the XPS 13. Yeah, 4K, David, is going to be a disaster when it comes to battery life. Now, the 13-inch should be good, but I don't know with regards to the AMD Ryzen. I don't have one into the studio to do testing. I'm hoping the battery will be good. Now, they're saying on this, I don't even know if they're even talking about battery on this. Let's see. Like they did on the, see, they're not even talking about it here, which is a little concerning. Where's the battery information? And for the fact that they're not putting on there is very concerning, because they do it for the Intel version. So interesting. Key specifications. I don't see the battery on it. Does anybody see it here? Maybe I'm just missing it. Yeah, it doesn't look like they are. And that's going to be very interesting. What is the battery life on these Ryzen processors? Especially if they're going to have a dedicated graphics card, AMD Ryzen, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Zuriel, how are you? How does that processor compare against the Ice Lake? I don't know, but I'm hearing good things about it. So it'll be good. We don't know until we get it into the studio. I'll put it head to head. But again, looks good. Now, I heard the Envy has no Ryzen 4000 CPU. No, they are gonna. No, this is the Envy fan. This will be getting the X360 convertible will come with a Ryzen processor. Was announced today. Now, I couldn't talk about it until the embargo was lifted this morning. So, do you know something about the Spectre X360 15? Nope, they haven't told me yet. I asked HP and Arcita. They didn't give me any information yet. So we'll see. Now, by the way, if you're watching me on Amazon, there are some great deals on Envy laptops, specifically the Envy 13 I reviewed last year, of course, which is still very good. And then there's also the NV17, which I recently reviewed with a 10th generation processor. And then there's also some others in there. So check it out. If you're watching me on Amazon, or if after the stream, check it out. It'll be in the carousel below. Really good deals on Amazon Prime. And by the way, Amazon cut their commission. So not good news for creators, that's for sure. Not happy about that. And I don't know why, because Amazon is making a ton of money right now. Why cut the creators? Why hurt them like this? Really, really upsetting. Okay, Duck Vision, how are you? I really hope these Ryzen CPUs run a lot cooler than Ice Lake. I tried the OLED X360 13-inch reviewed, loved it, but the 10th gen, yeah, it does run hot. And that's going to be the issue, of course. These are thin and light devices, and an OLED display has a lot of pixels to push, especially a 4K display. So yeah, definitely. So again, I'm very curious to see how the Ryzen processors will do once I get it into the studio. Hey, Alan, how are you from Thailand? Vincent, does the RTX 2060 make the 15-inch Envy a gaming laptop? Yeah, I guess you can do some gaming. Yeah, I definitely think you can. Again, thermals are going to always be an issue. We'll have to see. I don't have any numbers, of course. These were just announced, so we'll have to see. All right. So how's everybody doing? We got 62 of you in the live stream. And what do I think about Lenovo Legion? Now, good question, Grendel. There was some new announcements on Lenovo yesterday. It was kind of weird. Lenovo and HP actually had their press conferences at the same time. So I had one iPad was tuned to one, and then I had my laptop tuned to the other, and I had one ear, so I had to see what was going on. So I will be talking about that. I'm not going to be talking about on this live stream. I might do a live stream tomorrow, talk about Lenovo's new Legion laptops they announced. It's really exciting stuff. RTX is better than RX, yes. Hey, Mr. Wall Street, how are you from New York City? I hope New York is doing okay. I hope you're doing okay. I'm from New York City, so my heart goes out to everybody there. I have friends and family there, so I hope you're all staying safe. All right. Do you know if AMD models will have OLED? I don't know if they're going to have OLED, Philip. They didn't tell us. We'll have to see. Let's take a look at another model now. Now, let me go back to my Dropbox here and then go back to the data sheets. And let's talk about the 17 a little bit. And then we'll get back. Oh, there's also the 15. Let's talk about the 15 X360, and then we'll talk about the 17. So this is going to have a number of SKUs, and I'm going to put the first one up. Again, my internet's a little slow right now, but we'll bear with it. So there's going to be an AMD Ryzen 15, Ryzen R5. Let's save this, and then I'll put it onto here we go. So this one, yeah, this has the Ryzen 5 on it, and I think you can see it here. We just looked at the 13-inch. Now, this is going to be the 15-inch, and let me bump it up a little bit. Okay. So I can at least see it. This is going to have the AMD Ryzen 5 4500U, 8 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 256 gigs of SSD storage, AMD Radeon graphics. That should be interesting. We'll see what that's going to be all about. It's got Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0. That's good. 4.42 pounds. This is a convertible, of course. It will have pen support, I believe. And let's see what else. Anything. Again, they don't talk about battery life, which is very interesting. It says long battery life over here. So if you see here, I'm always on the wrong side. It says long battery life right there. I don't know. We're going to have to find out. What is the battery life? Tech Realm is asking, do AMD Ryzen APUs only have 6 gigabytes of system RAM with installed 8 due to the Radeon graphics? I don't know. These don't tell us. We'll find out, though, I promise you, once I get these into the studio. Again, this was a nice display on this one. Let's see what kind of display they're offering. Yeah, they're going with a full HD on this model. And again, there's a number of SKUs on this. Let me see if there's a 4K also. Let's see here. So that one. So then there's another one with the R7. And this SKU has also full HD. This one's going to have the Ryzen 7 processor, same. So I don't know what the difference on this one is going to be. Let me go to the next one. And then there's this one. Okay, there's also the Intel. So this one is the Intel. And I will put it on there. Hold on. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll save this. Just bear with me. I'm sorry, people. I'm learning a new system here. And then I will put it on here. So this one, as you can see, has an Intel processor. And interesting, they probably give the battery life on this one. Also says long battery life. So this has the Core i5 on this one. And this has UHD graphics. Again, they're going to be different. How should I put this? They're going to be different SKUs. And so we're just touching the surface on them. Let's get to some of your questions. I don't see a camera turn off button. Let's see if it's on this one. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to have a shutter switch. I don't know if it's on the side. It might be on the side. Let me see the camera. I don't see anything. Okay, so there is a camera shutter. If you look here, if you can see there, it says camera shutter. So it does have a privacy shutter switch. That's good. So that answers that question. 16:10 is so boring. 33:2 is so much better. 16:10 is actually pretty good. I actually think that's the best blend. Amazon is trying to limit sales right now. They can't keep up. Article in Slate today, which may explain why they're limiting commissions. If that's what it is, they're hurting creators. They need to do a better job, especially for the people that are making them money. So not good, Amazon. Not good. Okay. Is everything looking good on the stream? Just want to make sure. Okay, we already talked about that. I can tell you by your accent you are from New York. Yes. How did you guess? Okay. All right. So it's getting a little bogged down my computer, and I think I got too many things open. So let me start closing some of this. Yeah, that's probably why. I need to upgrade my main computer, and I'm looking to see what we can do. All right. So what you're seeing here, of course, is the Spectres that I have and the Elitebook, of course. But the Envy line, of course, is not going to be quite as premium as the Spectre line, but I think it's just as good. Let me take this image off. Don't need me right now here. And we can take this one off as well. And then we can bump up here. All right, so I do love 16:10 or 3:2. That is correct. All right, we got 55 of you in the live stream. Let's take any of your questions. Alpha Logan, any release date for the new Dell XPS 15-inch, of course. I am hearing March sometime. I'm sorry, May for the XPS 15, the new one. And then we're looking at June for the 17-inch is what I'm hearing. Okay, I'm trying to close some of these things because I think I'm getting a little bit bogged down here. Let me quit that. And I think that's going to hopefully speed things up. Is it looking okay? Let me know. Do you think the Spectre X360 15, the latest one, is better than the Yoga C940 15? Yeah, I like the 15. I think better. We'll find out. I think they're going to be refreshing the X360 soon, so stay tuned on that for the Spectre line. All right, what's the main difference between the late 2019 Spectre X360 and the NV13 with Intel 10th Gen? Well, one is a convertible, unless you go for the X360, and the other one is a clamshell if you're not going with that. Can everybody see me okay? I want to make sure that this is coming out okay, because I may have to restart the internet if it's not, because it really seems like it's lagging on my end, and it shouldn't be. It should be pretty good. So just let me know, and I may have to restart the internet to get it going. So just let me know in the comment section, of course, in the chat section. And by the way, I'm open for super chats. If anybody wants to donate, it helps the channel, of course. I will have members up soon, so keep that in mind as well. So hit the 30-minute mark, and it's so far having a good time. We're talking about the newly released NV 13, 15, 17, and all the different variants of that. So you see me fine? Good. All right, so I'll take your word for it. That's good. All right. So that was a lot of what HP announced. They also announced some new Z from their Z line, which is their more power line, trying to compete with the MacBook 16. I will be doing something separate on that. Yeah, I'm trying to limit what's on the screen right now because it's slowing down. I'm not really sure what's going on, if it's my internet connection, but everybody says I'm fine, and I'll just go with that. Would the HP Envy X360 13-inch with Ryzen CPU and Radeon graphics be better than the Dell 5290 2-in-1 as a drawing PC? I don't know, Cult of Personality. I can't wait to get a Ryzen processor into the studio. A review unit would be great, and I am going to be getting these review units, so stay tuned for that. Just as a little segue here, we're right now 31 minutes into the live stream. Just a little channel update. We'll talk about the NV17 in a moment. But the channel, actually, we might be close to 82,000. I know we hit 80,000 on the live stream 2 weeks ago when we did it, and we hit it on 80,000, which is a pretty significant milestone. Right now, we're at 81,950. So we're 50 short. So if anybody who's watching, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 82,000. Again, the channel's growing at a rapid pace at this point. We're on our way to 100,000. Hopefully I'll get it this year. And the views are up. Everything's up. I'm having one of the best months I've ever had. And of course, I just dropped a video that bombed, which was the Chromebook I just did. Unfortunately, people don't like Chromebooks, so I don't think I'll be doing them anytime soon. All right, it's only the 4700U and the 4500U, so no SMT, probably 46U and 48U is for Spectre. You know what? Could be Mualana. I don't know. This is exactly what the information they gave us, so I don't know. Is it possible that there's a heavy usage of internet in your area or good, though? Yeah, I don't know. I want to make the quality of this live stream as good as possible, but it could be there's something going on. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't know if it's because I'm using a green screen this time around, so it's maybe more processing power. I don't really know. I appreciate that, Hardeep. So a lot of people tell me I'm underrated, but, you know, we'll see. But I appreciate that. Fan, yes, I am. I have a gaming laptop in the works, so stay tuned. It's from Lenovo. I will be posting that probably in the next few days. Is it possible there's a heavy usage? We just talked about that. What makes the Spectre more premium than the Envy? And that's a very good question, Ronak Borker. Not much, because if you like the Spectre line, it's a really premium device. But then the Envy, to me, is just as premium, just doesn't have the price tag to match. So I would say they do give it a little bit of better specs in some regards, but I don't really think you're sacrificing all that much with the Envy line. I really don't. And by the way, on Monday, I'm taking delivery of the Envy 13 with that wood on it. So that looks pretty interesting. And again, that might be a nice teaser or warm-up to these new Envies when they come into the studio as well. Tech Realm is saying the Surface Laptop 3 2019 seems to have limited system RAM with the Ryzen APU because of the graphics. Yeah, that's a good point that you bring up. Remember, the Surface Laptop 3 also has a Ryzen variant, the 15-inch, and a lot of people say get the 15-inch with the Intel processor as a result, which did better in performance. But I actually thought the 15-inch actually did pretty good with that Ryzen processor, just not quite as good as the Intel. Vincent saying, will you review the PS5 also based on current news, which is more powerful? I don't really plan. I don't think I'll be doing the PS5, but you never know. We'll see, and we'll find out. Can convertibles get really good graphics cards? Probably RTX. It's rare you see good graphics card in a convertible because their main focus is portability and being able to move it around or at least use it as a tablet. So and cooling is always going to be an issue. So they're not going to put in a beefy graphics card to A, add weight, or B, to make it hotter. So I don't think you'll see that. And Zayed is asking, is the Surface Laptop better than the HP X360? Now, are you talking about the HP Envy X60 or the HP Spectre X360? And is the Surface Laptop better? Surface Laptop, excuse me, is a clamshell. And these X360s are convertibles. And to me, they're not really direct competitors because they do different things. They have more versatility. But I absolutely love the Surface Laptop 3. If you want a great clamshell, you cannot go wrong with the Surface Laptop 3. If you want a great convertible, either with the Spectre line or the Envy line, the X360 for either one will certainly fit the bill. Fan is saying not the ZenBook Pro Duo, the ZenBook Duo. I guess you're talking about somebody's talking about that. I did review the ZenBook Pro. ZenBook Pro Duo. Isn't that what it's called? I reviewed it a few months ago, I guess. When did I review that? Was it late last year? It was great. I loved it. I wish I could hang on to it, but it was so damn expensive. So let's see. Radon Kassam is asking, what is the best laptops in the market right now? The best laptops on the market, it depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for a gaming PC? Are you looking for the a work machine? Are you looking for something thin and light? Because if you're looking for thin and light convertibles, these two are one of my favorites. Of course, the Dell XPS 13 2-in-1 is very good. This is the HP Elitebook, which is their business focused line, which is great. This is the Dragonfly, one of my favorites. This has LTE in it. It has really good performance, great build, thin and light. Really love it. Love the color. Then, of course, for value and price to performance, the Spectre X360, of course, is a premium laptop. And that brings me to what I'm going to be talking about in an upcoming video this weekend, which I think will drop either Sunday or Monday, actually. And I'm going to revisit my long-term review of the HP Spectre X360. I'm also doing a head-to-head between the HP Spectre X360 and the Dell XPS 13 because I know a lot of you want it, and I will talk about the Dell XPS 13 2-in-1 as well. So we're going to do a head-to-head showdown between those. So stay tuned for that. Asus now has the Zephyrus Duo coming out. Yeah, that's another one that I'm very interested in. Duck Vision, good point you brought up. Again, I've reached out to Asus. Hopefully I can get that into the studio. We have 55 of you in the live stream right now. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, let's see here. Guys, you're asking really good questions tonight. Is the SD card, fan is asking, is an SD card slot really that useful to a user? For creators, I think it is. For somebody like me who does, I work with 3 different cameras to make my videos, at least 3, and I need to transfer files. I need to use SD cards all the time, and not having an SD card slot to me, it hampers me, especially on a MacBook. And I was really upset when they took it away. And of course, you got to live the dongle life for the most part with the MacBook. So for creators and those professionals that need to use SD cards, yeah, I think it is important. For the average consumer, probably not, who occasionally takes photos, but most of their photos are going to be taken on their smartphones nowadays. So maybe not so much on the average consumer, but for creative professionals, for YouTubers, you definitely do need it. Zayed is asking, I'm looking for a laptop that is well designed and portable with a good display, good performance for the occasional gaming sessions. Any ideas? So portable is going to be interesting. Good display, good performance for occasional gaming. Occasional gaming. So that's going to be your key. What is the graphics card? I like the Dell XPS 15, but again, I wouldn't buy it now until you can see what the new XPS 15, which will be dropping probably, I'm hearing May, where the XPS 17 in June. So that's the rumor mill. So I like the XPS 15, especially with that renewed, with that new design, that 16:10 aspect ratio. Might not be the best for gaming, but we'll find out as far as that 16:10 aspect ratio. So that would give you the occasional gaming because it has a nice graphics card in it. You could do video editing with that. You could also get good performance, of course, out of that. I would take a look at that with the XPS 15. Again, but you might want to hold off until a couple of more months when we get to see the new redesigned version. And it is in the need of a refresh, that's for sure. But again, one of my favorites still. I'm just looking for more questions here. Fan is saying the bad news about the Zephyrus Duo is that there's no Ryzen 4000 series. Again, I don't know what, again, once I get it into the studio, I can definitely tell you more about it, of course. Hey, Mayor, how are you doing? Good to see you as well. You're another regular in the live stream and on the channel. Let's take a look. Let's see if anybody subscribed. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps the algorithm as well. So we did gain 3 subscribers, so thank you. I'm sure that helped. Again, we are growing at a rapid pace, so that's good news on that front. All right, so what are we talking about? We're talking about the NV17, the 15, and the 13, which have been announced as new laptops coming from HP. All right, as far as the 17-inch is concerned, let me take a look at my files here, and let me go. I think I lost that tab. Just let me load it up. But again, the 17-inch, I actually recently reviewed a 10th generation version of the 17. What is it? Less than a month ago, right? I did the HP NV17, and that actually had a DVD writer on it for whatever reason. And I don't know if the new one does. Let me take a look. I just got to find that link, and then I could definitely tell you. Was yesterday. Here we go. And that was kind of funny that it did have a DVD writer. All right, so I'm just heading back into the Dropbox where I can have all that stuff. All right, so let's go to the NV and let's go to the 17. Here we go. And let's take a look at some images first. Here's one image, and I'm going to tell you, and I think they did away with the DVD, but I'm not sure. Looks like they did. Looks like they slimmed these down also. That's also looking good. And I'm going to put it on the screen here. Hold on. Okay, let me just make sure you guys can see it, and you can. Let me bump that up. So this is the new 17, and I don't know who asked for it before, but I wanted to talk about it. So as far as specs, let me get to the specs, and I can tell you right now the data sheet is here, and 17 data sheet, here we go. So what we're looking at here, and I'll just read it to you, it might be easier. We're looking at Core i7 1065 G7. So we're looking at Ice Lake on this, which is a 17-inch Ice Lake processor for a 17-inch device, 17.3-inch Full HD IPS display. And if it's anything like I just reviewed, it's very good. You don't have to worry about that display. It's very good. It's got a 12 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4 RAM. It's got 512 gigabyte SSD with 32 gigabytes of Intel Optane memory. And it also has the Nvidia Geforce MX330, not the MX200, I think was the one that we looked at. The Geforce MX330 with 2 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM. So that's an upgrade on the MX200 250, we're now seeing the 330. That's very interesting. I've never used the 330, and it might be new. I have not seen that one. Now, as far as battery life, they're claiming up to 11 hours of mixed use, 11 hours and 45 minutes of video playback, and up to 8 hours and 45 minutes of wireless streaming. You're looking at Wi-Fi 6, which is good, and you're also looking at Bluetooth 5 as well. So that's good. Now, this comes in at 6.02 pounds. I think that's the same weight that the one I reviewed about a month ago or less than a month ago. I don't see that DVD writer on this, so I think they did away with that. So hopefully they put in a bigger battery, because one of the things that bothered me was the fact that it had a DVD writer, which is kind of a relic, I think, at this point. But the Nvidia Geforce MX 330 graphics, and according to HP's literature here, they say supercharge your PC for work, play with higher graphics for smooth gaming content creation. I'm thinking this should be a very interesting processor. It'll definitely give you a boost, that's for sure. And we'll see. But an MX 330, very, very interesting. I will have to see Juarez. That was the biggest thing that I didn't like about it, was the battery life. But again, this is a 6-pound laptop. You're not going to be carrying it around all that much. So for a 6-pounder, it wasn't bad. But again, you kind of would think they would put a bigger battery in that space. But, again, weight is always a consideration. So we'll have to see once I get one into the studio. Yeah, you're late. Any of these non-16 to 9? I think I don't know. Based on what I can tell, I think these are definitely 16 to 9. I think they would have highlighted the fact that it would be 16 to 10 if it was. So very interesting. Now, the new NV15 looks really good. Hopefully in the future, HP will drop a 35-watt or 45-watt Ryzen chip inside. Very real possibility. I think AMD's making a lot of headway with their Ryzen chips, and I would not be surprised if they dropped one in. That would be really good. Okay. I'm thinking, I don't know if I need to restart my internet here. My wife, because it's been a long story, but tonight it's not the best, and I don't know if it's because of the green screen or not, but we'll find out. We're now at 46 minutes. Again, if you're watching me on Amazon, you can catch the all the great deals that I put in the links below. You can check it out on Amazon. These are great Envy laptops that I think are really good. There's also an HP Spectre to look at on that carousel. The NV13, the NVX 360, which comes in at $817. That's a really good deal. And then the NV17 that I just reviewed for $1369. That's pretty good deals, I think. Let me just check to see if there's any messages or anything. No, they're not commenting too much on Amazon, but we are getting plenty of comments here on the chat. Yeah, a lot of people are interested in the 17, but we'll see. Now, I'm interested also in the Dell XPS 17, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Last week, it should be pretty good. Which Ryzen or Intel, which one would you review? I would like to review both just to get a comparison. So hopefully they'll send me both. If I have to go out of pocket, I'll buy one, and maybe if they give me the other, that would be great. I could do a head-to-head AMD versus Intel. That would be really good. And of course, I'm partial to AMD because of my initials. We have the same initials, but anyways, and I have another story. Why is there no key between the Alt and left arrow key? I don't know, but you love your keyboards. Why is there no key between the Alt and Delete key? Are you talking about the 17 here? Let's take a look. Alt and the Delete, what? Between the Alt and left arrow key. So this is the left arrow. Oh, that's a fingerprint scanner. That looks like the fingerprint scanner right there is what you're talking about. So that very interesting placement. And let's bump that up. I'm pretty sure that's a fingerprint scanner. We'll find out. Let me see if there's anything on that literature that I just read. I'll tell you right now. It says Anything about a fingerprint scanner? Fingerprint reader, seamlessly log into your device in any position with a touch of your finger. Patented 3D fingerprint technology. I'm assuming that's the fingerprint reader, but correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I think it is. But if we'll find out when we actually get it into the studio. Yeah, Dagwani, the MX graphics are the 330 on the 15-inch that we just talked on the 17-inch that we just talked about. I think that's the MX 330. Geforce MX 330 with 2 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM. That's on the 17-inch, the one we're looking at right here. And I bumped it up just because I zoomed it in because I wanted to see what this was. And it looks like that might be the fingerprint scanner. It's kind of weird place, I think. But interesting. That would be the first time I've seen it on the keyboard like that. Tech Realm is telling Panda's Wall Cheese, whatever your name is, HP NV13 is 300 nits in brightness. Again, I don't know until we get them in the studio too, and I can actually do my testing with my Data Color Spider Elite, and I could tell you all the numbers you need to know. 300 nits or above is okay, so I'm not really concerned yet. But again, until I do the testing, I won't be able to make a determination. Okay. Is there a USB-C Thunderbolt 3 charging port still on the old or the old school charging port? That's a good question. On the data sheet on this one, I'm thinking this is going to be not a USB charger on this. Again, I don't know, and I don't think they tell you. And looking from the ports on it, I can't really tell. So it's really too early to tell what kind of charging they're using on this. But that would be interesting to find out. What is the screen to body ratio? I don't know. We have to find out. I don't have the dimensions. I'd have to do the math on that. But it looks like they're pretty slim bezels, to be honest. As far as availability, I think they're coming in sometime in March. They're coming. So stay tuned. These are coming March. What I'm saying, in May. I said March. We're in April. Yeah, it's coming in May. So stay tuned. We'll have exact dates for you and everything. How does the 13-inch model compare to the MacBook Air? I don't know. I'm hoping better, and I'm expecting better performance. It has a better chip, and I think the AMD chip will be better as well. We'll see. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Tech Realm. 88%. That's very good, actually. 88% screen-to-body ratio. Very good. And now you're saying they're 85%. Either way, I think that's pretty good. Thinner bezels than I think previous generation. I just bought the NVX 360 15. You know what? I have a feeling you're going to still be okay. Don't worry about that. I don't know. Again, until I get these into the studio, I can't really tell you. I wish they put an RTX graphics card on the NV17. I do too, but again, it's pretty thin. I guess they could do it, but then thermals, of course, will be an issue. And again, don't forget, they're trying to sell gaming laptops as well, so they don't want to cannibalize that as well. All right, so can you comment on the Vega cards from the X360s? Can be the comparable to Intel's Integrate? Of course, they're not as good as Nvidia. I can only tell you from the MacBook side where they use Vegas, and they're pretty good. But then again, it's hard to tell because they're optimized for like things like Final Cut Pro and so forth. I can't really answer that yet. I wish I could. I just was just announced today. Again, we don't have performance numbers or anything like that, but stay tuned. When I do get a review unit, I will definitely check all the numbers, of course. If Dell leaked the laptop picture on purpose, which they did, keeping the ongoing situation in mind, when do you think Dell will launch their lineup Precision, Latitude, and XPS 15, 17? Precision, I don't know. I don't have any information. Latitude, I don't have any information either, although I'm expecting the 9510 very soon, so stay tuned. As far as the XPS 15 Silver Ghost, I'm hearing May as a time they're going to drop the 15 and June for the 17 on the XPS line. So stay tuned. Does HP have both a 4K OLED and a 4K IPS option? I think so far I've only seen the 4K OLED, but I could be wrong. I still have to confirm if there's an IPS. I'll check the data and I'll let you know. The NV15 will have RTX GPU, but the thermals will fry. Again, I don't know, until we get it into the studio. That's the only way, until we put it through the paces, to find out if this thing is going to run hot. I want my laptop to run super cold at 3 degrees Celsius. Yeah, we all do. XPS 9300 competition. The Envy, okay, so I think the more direct competition will be the Spectre line, but the Envy clamshell could definitely be a competitor to the XPS 9300, which, if you watch my channel, knows my favorite clamshell so far in that 13-inch category. So we'll have to see. That's a really, really good point you're bringing up. Tech Realm's looking for a premium laptop, but these new AMD Ryzen laptops are making me reconsider my decision. With the HP Spectre X360 13, a Wacom stylus would be greatly welcome. Yeah, I'm hoping they're Wacom on the convertibles, and I'm hoping. And by the way, I will be dropping a revisit of the, and I'll put it up right now, of this laptop, which you can find in the carousel below, which is, of course, the Spectre X360. I'm going to revisit this and my long-term review, and I got to say, it really is one of the best out there when it comes to hitting all the points: price, performance, battery, display, value, price to value. It really gets everything you'd want. And you can get this on sale. You can get it for $1,000 or even less. So to me, and you can get this with a Core i7 with Intel Iris Plus graphics. Really good stuff that HP did on this. Liking the styling of it, of course. And I love the keyboard. And we're going to do a whole revisit on this. And I'm going to put it head-to-head in a showdown with the Dell XPS 13 9300. So that's all coming. Can this new laptop help me get into Ivy League? Orson, if it could get me into the Ivy League, I would definitely use it. I don't know. But if you study hard, you will. Okay. So right now we're at 56 minutes. I don't know if we're going to go much more than an hour tonight. How is the stream? I'm hoping it's not too jittery and laggy, and I'm having an issue. I don't know what the issue is, but whatever, we'll deal with it. It's just as long as you get the information and have a good time, that's all that matters. Can't find the great deal you mentioned half an hour ago on Amazon. Was it about any of the latest Ryzens? Rod, the Ryzens aren't out yet. I wanted to show some good deals on Amazon because they are having some good value sales over there. So I would check it out. These are still relevant models. These are stuff I reviewed, and I would definitely check it out. But Ryzen stuff is coming, so stay tuned. Is the laptop prices really justified with that? What they offer? One laptop has something good as in screen and poor speakers. The other has good speakers and something else bad. I don't know, and I don't have any pricing yet. The stream is cool. Okay, good. You like the stream? Okay. Maybe it's just my computer. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Fan, I like, you know me, I love bright displays. In fact, I love the XPS 13, which I have right here. And this one, I can get close to 600 now. I tweaked it. And man, this thing will sear your eyes. It's so good. But I love this laptop, as you know. So I'm putting it head-to-head between these two. So... and I might even bring this one in as well. So we got a lot coming up this weekend. I got a lot of work to do to keep this momentum up. All right. Let's do a check of the let's see how many subscribers we have. So we had 53. We gained another one, 81,954. So we're getting close to 82,000. I want to get over 100. I need to be in the 100, people. Let's do it. Make sure you hit the like button, of course. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go do it. Get me to that 82,000. I would really appreciate it. And I'll do something special for you guys. Okay. Is the audio in the HP Spectre X360, and I'll put this up on the screen here, as good or crappy, or how does it compare to the MacBook Pro 16 or the Yoga C940? The speakers are good on the Spectre X360 15, not as good as the MacBook Pro 16, and not as good as the 940 15. So those two are the better ones, in my opinion, especially because you have that rotating sound bar on the 940, and the MacBook Pro 16 has the best speakers on the market. And I think Apple's just really knocked it out of the park once again. Yeah, and I think these are going to have pens, the ones we just talked about with the Envy line. And 4K displays are going to always not going to be as good as far as full HD when it comes to battery life. So I guess that might be something you have to be wary of. Hey, Tech for Your Needs is in the house, everybody. Good to see you. Glad you can join us. So we're just about 1 hour, a little shy of 1 hour here on Thursday. Still, we're on April 16th at right now. It's almost 8 p.m. We're almost an hour in. If you're watching me on Amazon, check out the links below because you can find some pretty good deals. Hopefully, if not, okay, at least you checked it out. If you're watching me on YouTube, I'll put those links in after the stream is over when I am done. I got a lot of things coming up on the channel, so you don't have to worry. More reviews coming. So if the live streaming is not for you, I got other stuff on the way. So don't worry. A lot of things. And, despite the pandemic, they're still releasing products. Apple released the new iPhone SE refresh model. I'm not too excited about it, to be honest, but that's just me. But other people are excited, and I'm glad they've got it in a good price point. So hopefully Apple is doing the right thing there, and will sell, and they'll sell a ton of them. OnePlus released the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro, and I don't know if I'm going to review any one of them. I reached out to OnePlus. They never returned my email, so I doubt I'm going to be getting it because I don't want to go out of pocket right now. And to be honest, the phones aren't doing so great on my channel. Laptops seem to be the focus is where everybody seems to be reacting well to what I'm doing. So that's just a little of what's happening out there in the world. So they are releasing devices. Their new laptops are announced. Now, I did also, at the same time, I was invited to the HP press conference to announce these new Envy laptops. I also attended the Lenovo press conference and their new Legion laptops. So I may have to do a separate stream on that. So I didn't want to do it both on the same one because there's so many things to talk about and we would have to take up too much time. And I don't want to make this one too long. Now, as far as the day we're going to do the live streaming, I'm pretty sure we'll keep the one for tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to do one tomorrow only because I may have something to do. But having said that, I'm thinking of moving it to Saturdays in the mornings here, so it might be more accessible to other people. I can't do it during the week any earlier, so I'm thinking of moving the Friday night stream to maybe Saturday morning Pacific time. So I'm thinking maybe around 11 or 12 Pacific, around that time. So the East Coast will get it at around 2 or 3 o'clock, and then you do the math of wherever else you are. So that might be something I'm considering doing. Can I do a review of the Lenovo Ideapad Slim 7? I did take a look at that, by the way, at CES 2020 back in January, and I do plan on reviewing it. So I will, once I hear something from Lenovo, I will let you guys know. Orson is saying, my friends told me I got to get a Mac to get into Ivy League. So now this is new. So now this new HP. Get a Mac, man. I mean, I use it for my video editing simply because I do like it, but I use it because I use Final Cut Pro. And I don't really love editing with Premiere Pro. I just find my workflow is a lot more efficient and better with Final Cut. But having said that, I like both platforms. But again, if you're more comfortable with a Mac, go with the Mac, man. Silver Ghost is asking, can you please let us know a quick rundown of the differences between the Latitude, Precision, XPS, Inspiron, and what rivals the HP Pavilion? Wow, okay. All right, so just a long story short, you got the Latitude line, which is Dell's business-focused line, almost like what Lenovo's ThinkPad line is, okay? Then you got the Precision, which is geared towards professionals such as medical imaging people, architects, people do 3D graphics, people do programming. That's where Precision comes in. The XPS line is their high-end consumer line, obviously the XPS 13 and 15, and soon to be released 17 as well. And the Inspiron line is their more budget line. And that, I would think, goes toward the Pavilion line of HP. So I'm hoping I really wrap that up right, give you a good synopsis of what each of these lines is. So, but I like that they do hit on the different price points and the different segments of the population. So that's good. So I hope that answered your question, Silver Ghost. Anyway, so did you see the Lenovo Idea S940 for 2020? I didn't see it yet, but I believe it? Did we talk about this last week? I think it has touch display now, if I'm not mistaken, and that might be something that puts that over the edge because I really like the S940 a lot, as you know. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Than is saying I'm particular to the Xeon processor. I love the Xeon processor, especially in the one I reviewed and a lot of the products I reviewed. I recently reviewed the HP ZBook 15G6. I saw the Xeon processor in that. I saw the Xeon processor in the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 second gen, and I love and then the Dell Precision 5540. I looked at the Xeon processor, so I believe that was a Xeon. So again, high end, really good performance chips. You got it, Silver Ghost. Anytime, my friend. Anytime. We're now more than 1 hour on the stream. We got 42 of you in the live stream. The touch display is only on the 1080p model for the Idea S940. And by the way, I don't think you need the 4K model. 1080p is very good on a 13 or 14 inch device. Let me take a little water here. Okay. I own the NV X360 Ryzen 5 from last year, and is real good deal for the price. Everything is excellent. Brightness, RAM is okay. SSD is a bit under expected, all except the battery life. So the battery life I didn't check out the Ryzen version of the NV X360. So you're saying the Ryzen is no good. I mean, as far as battery life, because that's interesting to me, Rod. Yash Mishra, you like the stream. I'm glad. And again, if anybody's not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Let's get to 82,000. It really would make me happy tonight. We're at 81,957, so we're 43 short of it. I don't think we're going to get it during the live stream, like we got the 80,000 2 weeks ago during the live stream. SSD. So the SSD is a little bit slow. How's the battery life on that? The ZBook 15 has 2 thick bezels. Thick is what Dave Lee said. Yeah, Dave, it does have thick bezels. But again, as I mentioned in the video, it's not really geared towards your average consumer because of the power it packs. Professional renderers like 3D renderers or CAD people or medical imaging people who are going to really use this are not so much concerned about the bezels. They're more concerned about what it packs on the hood and will it get the job done as fast as you can. Oh, I love the ZenBook Duo. If you saw my review of it, I didn't want to give it back. Again, I had to return it. I couldn't keep it. It was too expensive, but man, was that good. That really surprised how much I liked that one. Really surprised me. Do you think there will be an HP Envy with Ryzen 4000 in the future with lower price and better temperatures? Yeah, they just announced the Ryzen 4000 is going to be in that chipset. So I don't know about the temperature and I don't know about the battery. We'll find out once I get those review units in, and I think it's going to be soon. So stay tuned, everyone. I think it's coming soon. Okay, let me see if I missed anybody's questions. Before I sign off. How's everybody doing? We got 45 of you here. So I think the live stream is doing well in terms of growth. We're getting at least 3,000 on each one. We've gotten a couple of 5,000 views, which is good for a live stream on my channel. So that's good. And I think we're getting better, but I got to get the technical side a little bit more worked out. But I got a few things coming to the studio that should help. So I'll fill you in as we go along. Let's see some of the new questions. Fan is saying the ZenBook Duo is the only a U series CPU, not an H or HK. That is true, but it still performed very well for me. I liked it. Dagmawi saying, I hope Surface Book 3 will have Tiger Lake and Thunderbolt 3. We'll find out. I think there was some leaked specs. I don't know, was it Windows Central that was talking about it? But it looks like it will have some pretty interesting specs, to say the least. I'm planning on reviewing it, so stay tuned. Hey, Brian Bassano Sumayan Jr., how are you? What is the graphics card of this laptop? Of which one? Of the Envies we saw? Well, they're going to have AMD Ryzen processors with the Ryzen, with the Radeon GPU, but I don't know specifics. Clamshell or convertibles? It depends. Like, I like convertibles like this, the XPS 13. But I also do like convertibles like this, which is the Spectre X360. So it just depends on what you need. I think I'm more of a convertible. I'm more a clamshell guy, but not by much. I can be very happy with a convertible for sure. And I like the versatility it gives you also. Rod is saying, I'm doing a great job. Good. Don't worry about the lag. It's no big deal. Yeah, I'm not, again, I don't know if it's that bad when we'll see it on the replay. I hope it's not too bad. Both sides just arrived. No worries, man. I'm glad you got here. One thing I love about the ZenBook Pro Duo is its ergo lift mechanism. Yeah, I do like the way that it does lift. It does give you a nice raised typing angle. I definitely agree about that. ThinkPad keyboard or the XPS 13 9300 keyboard. I like the 9300, but the ThinkPad keyboard are my favorite, as you know. But if you really, this is a much improved keyboard over the 2-in-1 that we reviewed late last year. I'm really happy with this keyboard. 15-inch convertible comparison subs. We will be doing them this year. I just want to get them into the studio. I will be doing, hopefully, some of the major players in that category. So stay tuned. All right, people, we're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. I'm a little bit tired. I still have a lot more to do. Hopefully the lag wasn't too bad, but hopefully we'll fix that by the next stream. I'm going to be connected. I had to do it with Wi-Fi tonight, but I hopefully will be able to get the Ethernet working for next week. I'm going to be doing one tomorrow, hopefully, or Saturday. I'm thinking Saturday might be better because I might be able to hit more people and it might be better timing for people. So I'll let everybody know. You'll see an alert in your subscription fee. So if you're not subscribed to me, make sure you are. Make sure you hit the notification bell. This way you get alerted every time that I do a video. You'll know when I post it. I'm going to probably sign off here just simply because it's more than an hour. And if you're watching me on Amazon, check out the links below. If you do decide to buy, I do get a small commission, even though it's been cut in half by Amazon. But whatever, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But either way, check it out. They got some good deals on Amazon, and they're overwhelmed a little bit, I'm sure. But then they're making a lot of money as well. So there you go. All right. So thank you so much. Let's say goodbye to everybody. Tech Realm, thank you once again for great questions and contributions. Thank you, Fan, once again. I don't like the maglev keyboard or the butterfly, so that's a wash. But thank you, my friend. Good to see you again. Good to see you, Christos. Bang & Olufsen sound on HP Spectre. It sounds good. I like it. Hard Deep, thank you so much. I always get your name messed up. Dag Maui, how are you? And good night. And thank you so much, people. You know who you guys are. I can't say everybody. I know Tech Realm was here. I know Fan. I said hello and goodbye. I'm just looking for the other people. Tech for Your Needs, I know, stop by also. Take care, my friend. All the others, you know who you are. I think we know. So we got 43 of you. We're going to sign off. I got a lot of videos coming. Don't forget, I got a head-to-head with the XPS 13 and the Spectre X360. I got a long-term review of the Spectre X360 that I think is very important. So check that out because I think this is going to be one to take a look at. The price is really good on it right now, and it's still holding up really well here in the early part of 2020. So X360, that's coming. So we got a lot to talk about. I got a lot more to do. I'm going to be doing a live stream. I think I'm going to do it on Saturday. I might not do it tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. So until next time, this is Andrew signing off. Everybody stay safe. Hopefully we're getting through this pandemic, and we will see you in the next video. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.